Hi everyone, David here with the Water Magister channel. Today we're going to be going over a couple topics. We're going to be going over doing a water meditation, because I like to do that every meditation to get you into the mood. We're also going to be talking about creating your reality, and also mirrors, different reflections of ourselves in our own reality that we like to create. And then we're going to finish off with I'm going to guide you on a meditation so you can unlock a hidden treasure within yourself. Okay? So, just like with the previous meditations, the previous videos that you may have watched, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a cup and go ahead and fill it with water. You can go ahead and pause the video now to go ahead and do so. So, the reason I like to start off with the water meditation is we set an intention into something outside of ourselves. And when we do that, we can begin to manifest it once we drink it. It amplifies the energy for us. Water, as some of you may know, holds memory. So it is a very strong substance for us to use. And I've read a book called Emmanuel's Guide. And it's channeling of this entity called Emmanuel, and it talks about that water eventually will be the substance that cures anything, because you have an intention behind it and you have that belief system behind it. So water eventually will be able to cure every single thing within your physical body as well as your spiritual body. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the cup, place it above our hand, and then place one below, so something like this, and then place this on your lap. Okay, so we're going to close our eyes down and take a deep inhale in through the nose, exhaling out the mouth, deep inhale in once more, exhaling out, last one. Inhale deeply. And exhale out. Breathing normally at your own pace. I want you to begin envisioning a small white orb in your mind, right where the brain is. And see this small orb pulsating and vibrating, expanding and contraction with every inhalation. You're creating a thought form that allows intention to be set into it. So I invite you to think about something that you want to gain from this video. If you're watching this, you're watching it for a purpose, and something drew you to watch this. So figure out what intention that you want to set. Maybe you want to let go of something. Maybe you want to create something. Begin thinking about that intention in your mind, of what it is. And then I want you to begin thinking and seeing yourself already living in that moment, already having that intention created, seeing yourself there. Once you're there, allow yourself to feel what you feel. What does it feel like to be in that space of already having that intention? Feel what part of the body it's coming from. Maybe it's from the chest, the legs, the feet, the back. It's coming from somewhere. And then begin to visualize that feeling going into that orb at the top of the brain, at the center of the mind. See that intention begin to push into the orb itself, so that that thought form, that orb of white light filled with love, is now taking on that intention that you're setting for this video, getting you into that state of relaxation, so that you can begin to absorb the information that you're going to receive with openness and no judgment. Once you feel that that orb now has the intention set, begin visualizing that orb moving down the neck, placing your attention and awareness as you move down the neck until it pauses at the chest, seeing that orb move where the chest is, putting all of your attention there. Maybe you might feel tingly sensations, hot or cold flashes, whatever it may be. Allow yourself to feel what you feel in this moment. Now choosing either the left arm or the right arm, begin visualizing that orb moving through the shoulder, moving through the upper arm, down through the lower arm, until it reaches the palm of your hand. And let it sit there at the palm of your hand, placing your attention and awareness there once more, allowing you to feel what you feel. And in your mind, begin to visualize that orb moving into the cup that you're holding, integrating with the water that is in there, until that orb is no longer visible and it merges with the water itself. So you know in your mind that you've set the intention for this water. Now out loud, saying the following: thank you, water. I love you, water. You're giving that appreciation to the water, because you are 70 to 80% water. And then very slowly, in your own way, begin bringing the cup to your mouth, drinking the contents. But when you do, be very present to the fluid flowing down the neck, down the throat, flowing to the stomach, feeling what you may feel. What is your body communicating with you as you're doing this? And then placing the cup down on the ground or on the floor or on the table, placing your hands in your lap, still having your eyes closed, focusing on your breath. Still keeping your eyes closed, we're going to go into the first awareness technique. Well, the one that I'm going to teach you today. This is called the observer method. I want you to begin visualizing a second version of yourself standing right behind you. Being as detailed as you possibly can with what you're wearing before you close your eyes. Recreating a second version standing directly behind you. And as that version begins to manifest, you're going to begin to switch your perspective through the eyes of that second version. Essentially, you're going to be looking at yourself in the third person. So you're going to be imagining looking at the back of your head, visualizing how your posture is, if you're sitting up straight, if you're slouched. Seeing yourself as your chest rises and falls. All while you're looking at yourself from that third person, that second version of yourself. And you can begin to play with that second version of yourself. You can begin to float around you, walk around you, and look at different angles of your body. Look at the front of your face if you want to walk in front of yourself. And the question now is, if you can visualize this, and if you can conceptualize it, and you are not your body, who is this thing that is observing the physical body? Still visualizing that second version walking around you, observing yourself as you inhale and exhale. We have a common misconception that we are a body that has a soul, when in reality it's a different way. We are a soul that created a body to interact with this beautiful third-dimensional world that allows us to feel, touch, play, cry, laugh, because we can, because we are that powerful, and because we create our reality. We wouldn't be here if we did not matter. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't without purpose. That whole idea of playing small, or you're not worth it, it's not real. You're creating that for yourself. You are worth it. You are so beautiful and so amazing. And you're here because you want to learn more of yourself. You want to learn how to love unconditionally. One of the best ways I like to say how our mind is think of our mind like a radio tower. And just like a radio tower, it has stations or receivers that it sends the radio stations to. Those thoughts are the different radio stations. And you can pick and choose what radio station you want to listen to, just as a thought that flows through. And you can pick and choose if you want to lower the volume or raise the volume on a particular song that plays. They call it paying attention because you are actually paying something. When you pay attention to a thought, whether it be negative or positive, you are still paying something. You are paying an energy. Anytime that you have a negative thought that you catch and that you are aware of, begin to think about something positive in that same situation. So say, for instance, your boss is yelling at you, and you get all this anger inside you. Let that moment pass, and then begin to visualize that moment with him being happy with you, him laughing with you. So the next time something like that may arise, it'll be completely different, and you'll create your reality based on that. We're going to finish this small meditation by taking a deep inhale in through the nose, exhaling out the mouth, breathing normally, opening your eyes whenever you're ready. So, I want to go over creating your reality. You are not a victim of any situation. There are people out there who believe that they are at whim to the circumstances that they feel or experience. What they don't understand is that they're creating that based on past experiences that then create a belief system that perpetuate that. And you stay in a cycle over and over and over until you learn that lesson. And I know those of you who are watching this, you feel that tingly sensation, that feeling that the body's communicating that this resonates with you. You absolutely create your reality based on what your thoughts are. Think about that for a moment. Think about, just pick one situation in your past and think about how you were, where your mind was at when that came. Just think about it. And then start thinking about the feeling that you had when that moment happened. An experience is not able to come into your reality unless you are feeling that particular feeling itself. So for instance, I myself, I have a lot of anger inside of me. It comes from when I was in high school. I got picked on a lot. Every single day. I was the smallest kid in high school. I went home crying every single day. And I bottled all that anger inside of me because I didn't know how to address it. No one ever taught me. So whenever a situation comes up where I see someone angry, it brings up a lot of emotion in me because I have not healed that particular aspect of myself yet. Because those situations that come up are only there as a mirror for you to show you that you have something to heal, that you have something to work through. It's just so important to understand that unless you heal a story, it'll keep repeating, and each time it repeats, it gets stronger and louder. And the louder and louder it gets, you get to a point where you're no longer able to ignore it. It'll start very slow, very subtle. And your intuition will kick in and it'll say, hey, I'm here. Just wanted to let you know. And you make a decision that goes against that. Maybe you make a decision to be with someone or do a certain thing where you know you heard that intuition speak. And you're like, no, I want to do it anyways. So that voice kicks in and says, maybe not do this. It's not in your best interest. So you do it anyways. Same situation, maybe a different way. Different masks, different people arises. You make that same choice again. This time before you made that choice, it goes, hey, so you didn't pay attention to me the first time. I'm going to start yelling at you a little bit. You still ignore it. Third time comes around. By this point, maybe you still don't catch it. By this point, your higher self is going to create messages for you to relay information that you're not paying attention to. And it'll also start yelling in your mind. You'll have that divide within yourself of, wow, I gotta change something. I don't know what it is. And the voice kicks in, it's like, hello? I've been telling you the past 2 times, but you're not fucking getting it. And you still ignore it. Next time comes around. It's at this point where if you're still not getting it, your body is going to develop an illness. your body will create some type of pain, some type of disease, some ailment. It might not even be that. It might be an instance where maybe you get into an accident and you break a bone, and you come to find out that area that's broken is related to a chakra. And based on that chakra, that's the emotion that you're not addressing. It's that real. Once you're conscious of it, you could change your reality in an instant. I'm not perfect. I know I'm still working through a lot, but I'm sharing what I do know. And that's the whole purpose of this channel. Maybe some of you out there know more than I do, and you can educate me on some things. I'm open to it. But this is only me sharing what I know thus far. And thus far, I can absolutely say with certainty that you create your reality based on the belief system you have, based on your traumas, things that you're not addressing. You're creating all of it. It's time to take your life back. You want to know why? That was my phone. Because you're fucking worth it. You are absolutely worth it. Give yourself that permission to own your power. No longer playing small. No longer doing something just because someone else wants you to do it. Do it because you want to do it. Create your reality based on what you truly want. Not out of fear, but from love. The love that you have for yourself. When's the last time you told yourself that you loved yourself? When's the last time you looked in a mirror and just smiled at yourself and said, I fucking love you. Thank you so much for this life that I've created for myself. Every moment, every instance, whether you may have perceived it as negative or positive, it's so beautiful. There are people out there who again play that victim role and say, that person did this to me. Fuck that person. When in reality, the only thing that they're saying, it's like saying, you're looking at a mirror, and you're like, fuck you, mirror, for making me look the way I look. The next time you have a judgment about someone, before you vocalize that judgment, point at yourself first. Okay? Say that same judgment that you would say to another person to yourself first, and see what emotion comes up. If no emotion comes up, maybe there's nothing there. But if something comes up, go into it. Start asking yourself, why do I feel that? Why do I feel that way? Have I been suppressing my emotions this entire time? So I already spoke a little bit about mirrors so far, but I just want to reiterate. Every single person outside of yourself is a mirror to you. I know some of you may have heard that phrase, that everyone's a mirror. Maybe you might not understand it yet. The best way to understand it is just like how you create your reality. You're having all these different mirrors all around you. Every single person reflects something of yourself. It reflects a certain aspect of yourself. That's why when we see violence on the news, violence on TV, blacks against whites, whites against blacks, all that violence is anger within yourself that for decades, for so many years, humanity has not dealt with their issues. Instead, they point the finger outwards. And the only way for that energy to then express itself is through violence, because it has to get released somehow. And since no one is owning their power, owning the fact that they're creating their reality based on their belief system, it then gets created that way. So if you want to make a difference in this world, and you truly want to see the world to change, start looking within. Start addressing all those issues of trauma. Maybe you were abused as a child. I was. But you work through it. You heal that. You forgive. Because the reasons, once what I'm about to say, you created your reality. So if you create your reality when you were a child, you chose that. You may not believe it right now, but you chose that particular thing to happen for you to step into your power, for you to realize how strong you really are. And that other person perpetuating that on you, they chose it as well because it's teaching them something too. But we're in a society that we don't think about things like that. We just point the finger, victim, victim, victim. This person did this to me. Now I'm this way. No, you did that to you. Now you're choosing to be this way. Take your fucking power back. Take it back. You were never less to begin with. You are so fucking loved. I'm getting emotional right now because I feel so much love. Before, I used to view the world as hopeless. But the more and more I begin to heal aspects of myself, the more and more I begin to heal things, I'm able to see that I am making a difference on the outside. Because if everything reflects what you're going through inside, think of how beautiful it is if you begin to love yourself, begin to forgive yourself, begin to accept yourself. Everyone outside of that will start reflecting that. And then they will start doing it. And then people outside of them will start reflecting that. And it'll be a chain reaction. The reason I'm doing this is because I know those of you who are watching this, you're going to grow. And we are one. We are. When you grow, I grow. So I want you to step into your power. I want you to acknowledge that you create your reality. That's why relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it may be, they're such beautiful representations, because they are like a direct mirror for things that you're not addressing in yourself. The times that maybe your boyfriend or girlfriend got you mad, or got you insecure, jealous, whatever it may be, it's because you're not addressing something in yourself. I'm going to leave this subject by just saying, before you start pointing the finger, point the finger at yourself first. because you deserve it, and you're strong enough to face it. Stop hiding from your emotions. Stop burying it inside of yourself. You're not serving anyone. I love you. All of you, my brothers and sisters. We will change this world. We will change this collective consciousness to be a world where everyone is free to express themselves without fear of judgment.